Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, peep game. Um, I'm gonna talk about Bob Arum later on. Probably the video after next because I need to push these videos out. Um, like I said, man, I want to make this very clear, and I'm gonna say this for the intelligent people. Um, for the fanboys and fangirls. Um, that's just too bad. At the end of the day, I'm not finna keep going back and forth with you. I'm not finna be doing no uh bashing, going too deep into uh like trying to like what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not gonna go too deep in trying to destroy a person's reputation and basically to the point to where it's obvious that I got something personal against them. Look, at the end of the day, I want y'all to follow y'all own minds. Really. I talk my talk, but at the end of the day, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. But at the end of the day, some people's opinion is based off somebody else's. I mean, it is what it is. I stand by what I said, and I'm going to keep saying this. And I want to make this very clear. I have nothing but respect. I have nothing against Errol Spence. The same way I have nothing against Terrence Crawford. I have long been removed from what happened in Fresno. Um, at the end of the day, it was a bad look for me. Um, it was a bad look for other people. But at the end of the day, I've got over it. I didn't like how I was did, and I will continue to express and explain why it is important for black fighters to interact with black media. Like I keep saying, if you guys really knew what be going on behind the scenes, the type of trouble that me and Blue and Rich from Hustle Boss and Boxing Ego and some of the shit we go through when we trying to cover these fights, it I'm just trying to tell y'all, it ain't as easy as people think it is. But I want to make this very clear. I'm going to say this and I'm going to continue to say this. Just because I critique Errol Spence doesn't mean that I'm against him. Just because I critique Bud doesn't mean that I'm against Bud. Okay? At the end of the day, whatever happens with Bud and his next fight, he's got to try to see can he get better opposition. Bud is arguably the best fighter on the planet. And at the end of the day, people are using certain situations to try to run a smear and hatred campaign against Bud. Because at the end of the day, it's not just on Bob Arum. It's not just on Al Heyman. Like I keep telling you, it got to be common ground. And 7-8 hit the nail right on the coffin when he said basically both of these dudes are at fault. This is about ego. This is about trying to one up each other. And don't come on here with this, but Al Heyman got sued. I don't care about that. I really don't care about that. At the end of the day, I'm not on here to sit up here and constantly rip another black man in the shreds. Okay? I just want fights to be made. I'm past this shit now. I'm past this shit. It ain't even about forgiving and all this type of shit. As I said before, see, a lot of y'all is in y'all mid-20s, and that's cool. Possibly early 30s, and you probably don't remember a lot of the fights being made because I'm about to tell you all this shit about um lawsuits and guys don't like each other now. So that's why. Look, let me explain something to you. You think Rock Newman liked everybody? You think Gary Shaw liked everybody? You think Don King liked everybody? You think Bob Arum liked everybody? Don King and Bob Arum is on record. They don't like each other. They hate each other, as a matter of fact. But they still manage to get fights made. So sometimes when I hear this stuff about networks and all this kind of stuff, I think it's BS, because I already proved that PBC and Bob Arum have did business before. As I said before, everything 7-8 said, I've been trying to say to y'all for months, but it went over y'all head because you have various different channels that have different views, and they all over the place with this situation. They want to single-handedly put this all on just one person, and I'm sorry, I'm not putting that bullshit out there, because that's a lie. Uslik and Adonis Stevenson got made. That was PBC and Top Rank. But see, here's the thing. Adonis Stevenson ain't what you call a superstar. He not a pay-per-view sensation. So it wasn't really no harm, no foul in him losing that belt. But if you have what you would call a superstar on one end versus a superstar on the other end, then it's kind of hesitant, because if it happens, then you know what I'm saying, it's about, oh, I'm not letting this belt go over here. See, Bob Arum took a big loss to Al Heyman with Floyd versus Manny Pacquiao. So do I believe Bob Arum is hesitant to make these fights? Yeah. But do I believe it's hesitation on the other side? Absolutely. Do I believe that there's been freeze outs? Absolutely. And I stand by that. Just because one person have a difference of opinion don't mean I have to have the same opinion. And ain't nobody gonna try to make me feel guilty about the stuff that I say. I done said this, and I will continue to say this. But it was a great video by 7-8. Me and 7-8 talk about this type of shit. Because like I said, I'm pulling out my hair because I'm kind of tired of the BS. And I've been telling y'all for months that's what's been going on. So now, since you heard it from 7-8, do you believe me now? Are you still gonna be caught up in the you know what I'm saying, the promotional gang war? Because like I told you, promoters don't really like each other. Most promoters can't stand each other. But as I said before, for the greater good of boxing, certain fights got made. Now every fight did get made, but what's going on now is just ridiculous. That's all it's about, one upping each other. You know, I don't want this belt to go over there, because then this dude has serious negotiating power. When if we do try that's all that's happened. I already proved that there was offers. Now, like I said before, I bet you if Terrence Crawford wanted to fight Josito Lopez or Robert Guerrero, I bet you that fight will get made. And then what would people say then? That's not going to make Bob Arum in particularly look suspicious. I'm just keeping it 100. Don't come on here and I'm gonna say something else. And another thing, don't come on here questioning what side I'm on and where I stand as a, you know what I'm saying, a black person. Don't ever question me about that, because like I said, I'm always putting it on the front line. I've said stuff that a lot of people wouldn't dare say. Okay? That's just the bottom line. I keep it 100, man. Like I said, I don't have an agenda. I just want fights to be made. You guys should be far past the point about what promoter get to promote the fight and all this type of shit. Because at the end of the day, you guys ain't promoters and you guys ain't the fighters. We could say who should get what, but at the end of the day, y'all ain't the ones that's in the rooms with the lawyers and uh these guys' camps. At the end of the day, Errol Spence and Crawford should fight. But I don't think the fight is going to happen. But the problem that I have with a lot of people, and particularly just certain people, and I'm not going, you know what I'm saying? The problem that I have with certain people is just the inconsistency and how people are about pushing narratives. Now, I totally debunk that Kell Brook garbage because it had to be debunked. It was just complete garbage, and it needed to be debunked. Kell Brook is a broke up, washed up fighter, pretty much. He's damaged from the Triple G fight that he had no business taking. Okay, and all of a sudden, that got turned into a narrative to try to bash somebody else. But the new narrative will be, now keep in mind, I already said this should have happened a long time ago. Now I was pushing for Bud versus Terrence Crawford. Oh, what was people saying? Oh, that fight can't happen because of this dude and because of that dude and the they on opposite sides. So now all of a sudden that Kenny Porter says that he's looking for that fight. So now all of a sudden people trying to jump on bandwagons to once again use this as excuse to try to throw salt at one particular fighter. Mark my words, that's coming from some of these diehard fans. Because like I said, I'm just a fan of boxing. I support Errol Spence. I support Bud Crawford. I'm going to stay neutral. But to be honest with you, after the Mean Machine, Bud is going to have to try to find somebody better to fight. And at the end of the day, and I'm going to talk more once again, I'm going to talk more about Bob Arum and I'm going to talk more about ESPN because I'm not letting them off the hook. You need to listen to this whole video. But that's going to be the new narrative. Because keep in mind, people take something and run with it. They always have, you know, they always have their ears closed or earmuffs on when one person says something. But then when the other person says something, here they come. Now keep in mind when Errol Spence said, hey, I don't need Bud. Now he just said he don't need Bud. Bud need him more than all that stuff. He don't need Bud. So now you don't see no videos talking about that hardly. But then when Bud says, oh, I don't need Errol Spence, then see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I'm not dealing with extremists anymore. For real. But that's going to be the new narrative. Now, keep in mind, Bud said Sean Porter is his friend. And he said he probably not going to fight him. Now, when Bud said it, then here, you know, the extremists of one other particular fighter come trying to talk shit. But when Sean Porter said, hey, I'm friends with Bud, we're close, and I'm probably never going to fight him. No videos made. So I'm just telling y'all that listen to my channel that's objective, watch for that stuff and watch for other people that's going to try to put that bullshit out. Because at the end of the day, it's just pure garbage. I want y'all to understand something and watch out for these type of people. When certain people got to go into a long definitive sentence trying to break down something and trying to just make it more complex than what it really is, that's because basically they're setting up their lies. They're putting their lies and they bullshit together. See, I can explain it in a simple way where people can comprehend where I'm coming from. I don't have to go into a long, deep, complex, sophisticated paragraph breaking down what's going on. Rapid fire. Y'all got to watch out for those people. That's why Eddie Hearn, when he does the interview and you ask him about certain situations, you could tell that he's not telling the truth. Because instead of him just giving a simple answer, he talks basically breaking the situation down at least for like 3 minutes before he even answers the question. So watch out for that. That's all I'm saying. Don't get caught up in this stuff. I'm just telling the truth. Don't take the bait. Okay, I'm not team nothing. Okay, I'm gonna say this again. I'm not team PBC. I'm not team Golden Boy. I am not team Top Rank. I'm not team Matchroom. I am me. I am my own team. I'm team boxing. This is your boy Town Biz. I'm out.